The college football experience, Texas Longhorns 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Eric Metcalf. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Texas Longhorns, Hook 'em Horns, 2025 season preview episode. Oh boy. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hope you had a great fourth. And I'm always excited to talk Texas Longhorn football. One of my favorite uniforms in all of college football, Mac. I'm starting out on a positive note. All right. I'm start off on a positive note. One of my favorite uniforms by far in all of college football. And obviously they've been to the playoff, and the invitational. I mean, I guess the past couple years. So they've been there. Sark's got them there. Could this be the year? Because you got the Big Mac, we got the Big Mick. Yeah, they got the Golden Arch. All right, Arch Manning. Obviously, you can't listen to a TMZ college football podcast in the first 30 minutes without an Arch Manning drop. I'm gonna cater to that. All right, let's go. Right. YouTube.com/the college experience. We're breaking down all 136 teams. Hit that like and subscribe button. We do this shit every year, folks. And we got a great slideshow. So, I mean, if you're listening to it, cool. But the visual, I highly recommend over the audio. And if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swigget Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, the chat's rocking. We got Texas fans. We got haters. Let's go. That's what we love about college football. I am joined by my co-host. He's also the host of the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe when the season goes live. We're live every night of the season, just like we are for football. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, buddy?
What is up, man? Yes, hook 'em. Texas Longhorns, Arch Manning. There's going to be some opinions on this episode. Let's get into it.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight. Yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of. That's how you know. It's almost like the Dallas Cowboys, right? I feel like you're getting all of the hate in here. It's good. Now, I have my reasons. I mean, I feel like, to me, but I still love those uniforms. I love those uniforms, and I'm gonna give you. I could separate Dundee the fan and Dundee the host, I think. So let's just jump into this thing, man. Obviously a fantastic season a year ago. Steve Sarkisian's 84 and 52 overall. Those are, 3 stops: Washington, USC, and Texas. What a nice 3 schools to start your career with. Now, in 2022, he was 8-5. Then the past 2 years, he was 12 and 2 and 23, and then last year 13 and 3. I will let this be known. I don't think he's that great of a coach. I think I normally disregard every college football article I read that has him as a top 5 coach. I'll say this. I'll give him credit for he has done better than Charlie Strong and Herman, and he's got them back. But I think that has more to do with Chris Del Conte than it does Steve Sarkisian. Chris Del Conte, their AD, comes in, and this guy's won everywhere he's been, I feel like. So Sark is one to me that's still got to prove it to me. I'm not going to say he's a bad coach, but I would say this. At Washington, at USC, and at Texas, in big games, he has not done great for me. Yes, he did. Did he? I would say the win at Alabama was probably the most impressive a couple years ago. But I mean, you look at that Arizona State game. I thought he got out coached. I thought Arizona and the fact that Arizona State, who barely got by Texas State right down the road from Austin, earlier in the year, made me think, how are they on the same playing field with this many? I bet Texas in that game, and I just feel like to go to the Washington game in the playoffs against DeBoer.
Yep.
And I will add in the fact that he's played like a record number of backup quarterbacks over the past 3 seasons. I just want to see more. I'm not saying he's a bad football coach. He's clearly done. He's got that program going in the right direction. But where are you at with Steve Sarkisian?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like I think when we did our SEC coaches rankings, we had Sark in the middle, and a lot of people, like you said, they think he's a top. The TMZ pods will say that he's a top 5 coach nationally. I completely disagree. He's left some meat on the bones in some of those big games. The Washington game, I thought DeBoer completely outcoached him.
The Kirby matchups, both of them.
Yeah, Kirby coached circles around him twice. But you give him credit, 25-5 in the last 2 years. He's done what he's supposed to do, and he's gotten to back-to-back now college football semifinals. So they're knocking on the door. Them and Penn State, I would say, are kind of similar right now, where Franklin, a lot of the same things we say about Franklin, we're saying with Sarkisian, and they're knocking on the door. So we'll see if he can get him over the hump. He's done a good job of getting them back. Texas is back. Texas is back. I mean, when you go to the Final Four back-to-back years, they are back relevant where they should be. But
100%.
I think he's a good coach, but I think there's been games he's definitely been out coaching big games.
Well, that's what I would say. Like Texas naturally now, like I said, he's done so much better than Herman, and Herman I think had 1 double-digit win season, but Strong and Herman, he's done so much of a better job. But I do believe Del Conte is responsible for a lot of that. And one thing I'll say is like they had a home and home with Bama their final 2 years in the Big 12. Yeah. They went 1-1. Probably should have went 2-0. Bad call in one of those games. It was a safety, I thought, on Bryce Young. But they went 1-1 in those games. What are they? 0-2 against Georgia. He's 2-1 in the Red River Shootout, right? I believe. But even with that, Oklahoma, I think both those years, like Oklahoma's been pretty shitty. So I don't know what to make of that. And then you look at the Washington, Arizona State, and Ohio State games, and you're like, can you really, like, to me, there's like 2 really good wins in there. You know what I mean? Like
they got a hell of
A&M at A&M last year. I'll give them as a 3rd. That was very impressive.
They got a nice gift in year 1 of the SEC with the way their schedule drew. And then his last year in the Big 12, they played all those backup quarterbacks in a row.
They did that kind of, I mean, that's been a highlight that I've hit on that it makes it hard for me to tell. But another thing is the SEC did them a great solid on the schedule last year, and we'll talk about that this year. But yeah, it's still, they are back. So as much as we want to, I feel like our statements are accurate, but at the same time, like they are back, you know what I mean? And in this day and age where it's legal to pay players, Texas should be, one of the tops in the country. I know they were super pissed off. I know Pat Forty was tweeting out that they, to lose the top offensive lineman in the upcoming class to Texas Tech and Joey McGuire, and then have Jermichael Finley's son go to flip and go to Notre Dame over Texas or whatever, being that he played there at Texas. I don't care. Texas will figure it out. They got money. They got like there's only a few schools. They'll always be in that range. Now it's hard to manage that though, and that's to Sark's credit and Del Conte's credit is to be able to manage all of that because we've seen Charlie Strong eat shit on that. We've seen Tom Herman eat shit on that. We've seen John Malkovich eat shit on that. So, yeah. Now the offense a season ago, Kyle Flood back as OC, 29th in scoring offense, 14th in passing offense, 71st in rush offense, and 21st in total offense. I'm a bit surprised at the 71 number on the rush offense, being that I thought they had one of the better offensive lines in college football last year. But I guess Sark just likes to throw the ball around. What do you make of these numbers?
Well, if you remember, and they're going to get him back, Baxter went down right before the beginning of the year last year. So that was a huge blow. I think that kind of speaks to it. I am a little surprised at 71st, but like you said, Sark gets a little pass happy. That Washington game comes to mind where they're averaging 8-9 yards a carry, and he won't run the ball. He just keeps throwing it, and then Ewers has a couple turnovers. So I'm a little surprised at how low that is, but he is a pass happy, pass first guy, Sarkisian.
Yeah. And they took some hits on that O-line, so that's something to keep take note of for the ground attack. Now, obviously, they've been recruiting at a really high level. The offense, they return Arch Manning, but he's never started a college football game. So 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I will say this. It's hard to deduce how good he's going to be, never starting. And I know Spurrier's recent comments, Steve Spurrier, legendary Florida Gator coach and South Carolina Gamecock and Duke Blue Devil head coach. He had said, if he's so good, why was Quinn Ewers starting over a 7th round draft pick?
Yeah.
And I think it's a valid point, but at the same time, I have been impressed when I've seen Arch come in the games. He's more athletic than I realize. He's got some wheels. I still think it's a shit ton of pressure on this kid coming in, with I've seen many polls, preseason things have them as the team to beat in college football.
Yeah.
That's bold. A lot of pressure, but obviously the Manning name, you've probably been dealing with pressure your whole life. What are your thoughts on Arch?
Yeah, so he got the 2 starts last year when Ewers got hurt. It felt like Ewers was like on and off injured throughout his career.
Did he actually start those games?
Yeah, he started
I
Monroe.
thought Malik Murphy started one like 2 years ago, but
okay. This is last year. He started the Monroe game, and then he started against Mississippi State. He was good against Mississippi State. I mean, he was 26 of 31 for 330 yards. Now that is the worst team in the SEC. And then the other game's a bye game. So I'm with you. He's way more athletic than his uncles. So that was kind of the thing that threw me off. But yeah, I think the biggest thing just from reading and listening to Sarkisian is they have a strong belief in his ability to stretch the ball downfield. And I think that's where Ewers' injuries held him back a little bit, and they're hoping Arch can unlock some of that.
Yeah. Well, the run game, look, Quintrevion Wisner is back, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns in his career. And then obviously CJ Baxter, who got injured for, last season, but the year before put up 659 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 good running backs in that stable. They always have good running backs at Texas. It's just going to happen. They're really excited about Jack Endries coming from Cal Berkeley. This is a guy that's got over 1,000 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns in his career. And I've seen nothing but positive clips from the coaches at Texas regarding him. So college fantasy football players, I think you want to keep an eye out. If you're looking for a tight end that I think could have a monster year, if all those things are accurate, watch out for Jack Endries, who transferred in from Cal. The returning starters, though, this is where it's crazy to me that they're a preseason number 1 in the nation. Like, I know they're spending. I know the recruiting classes are great, but like, they only have 3 returning starters. I mean, they lost 4 or 5 on the offensive line, and your starting quarterback. If you tell me that for any other team in America, including Texas, like if you just blindfold me, don't let me know the team, and tell me 4 out of 5 offensive linemen and your quarterback's gone, I am going to be a little bit of a skeptic of them winning the national championship.
Yeah.
They did obviously go to the portal some, not much. Matthew Codwell, quarterback, comes in from Troy, give him some depth. Wide receiver Emmett Mosley from Stanford was sought after there, and then tight end Jack Endries, who I alluded to. That's it on the offensive side of the ball. Only 3 guys on the offensive side. Recruiting, right? Mac, all those things there. Do you believe the offense will be better than 21st in the nation?
I think they'll take a jump on the ground attack because they get Baxter back, and then I think Arch's legs will be another dynamic in this offense. A passing TBD, probably around the same. I think they'll be around that 20 to 30 range for offenses. So, but I mean, they lost a lot of dudes on that offensive line. First round draft picks and replacing 4 starters. That's going to be the biggest thing for Arch is can they keep him healthy? Can they keep him upright with all these new offensive linemen? But like you said, they've recruited their ass off. That's one thing about Sarkisian is he can definitely recruit.
Well, I'm not sure it's necessarily him.
Yeah.
To quote, that's
you and I can recruit Texas.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can quickly pull this up. I was just reading today. They got. Oh man, Okay, so they got 5-star Justice Terry, a defensive lineman from Georgia, and they asked him how did he flip from Georgia to Texas. This is his comments. I don't know how else to say it. Just a straight up better NIL package. Okay. I don't know if that's Steve Sarkisian coming in being like, hey, hot shot, I got this offense and defense rolling. You come play for me. I think if you eliminate money from this, he would be a Georgia Bulldog or some other school. But yeah, I get your point.
Respect the honesty.
Yeah, I like that answer too. Trick or Treat say, do you think Arch will be a top 10 pick? I think Arch would be. No, I don't think he'll come out after this year. I think the money's too good in college football now, specifically at Texas. And I think they want to groom him well, just kind of like they were okay with him being a backup for 2 years. But we'll see. Defensively, Pete Kwiatkowski. Gosh, man, this guy's a beast. I was hoping he was going to get a head coaching gig somewhere. Just because this is the dude that was with Peterson at Boise and Washington.
Yeah.
After Wilcox left, he came in. And the numbers are pretty damn good. I know he played a bunch of backup quarterbacks. I don't give a shit. The numbers were great. 3rd in scoring defense, 7th in pass defense, 13th in rush defense, 3rd in total defense in the nation. They're good, buddy. They're good. And they're going to be good again. But they return Anthony Hill, one of the best defensive players in college football, former 5-star, 13 sacks in his 2 years there. That I am a little concerned on the D line. That's another thing, man. To say national champ, you lose 4 of 5 on the offensive side of the ball. You're bringing back none of the defensive line. I know they recruited incredibly well, but still, secondary looks pretty awesome though. Both corners back and free safety back as well. They did hit the portal, of course, to try to address that. As you see, they spend money. Murad Watson from Syracuse. I've heard Fran Brown talk about it. That was one of their best players. And he came to Fran Brown being like, can you match? And he's like, we can't. He's like, my advice, take the bag. And he took the bag. Of course, I'm not going to blame a fucking guy for doing that. But Cole Brevard coming in from Purdue, Travis Shaw from North Carolina, Eru Canoe from Ohio State, Lavon Johnson from Maryland, and linebacker Brad Spence from Arkansas. Kicker Mason Shipley. They had huge kicking problems last year. Mason Shipley comes in from Texas State. Maybe they could fix that. Also, punter Jack Baumeister from Utah. Mac, they were able to have success last year. They added a couple Arizona guys on the D line that really helped the D line. It seems like they can just go out and buy the best defensive lineman in the portal to mix with their recruits that have came in on the D line. So, I mean, I think the D line will still be solid. The question is though, just losing that much production, continuity does matter. And I think that's been one of the reasons why the sport has been very hard for people to predict. We had, I think more than any time we've been doing the show 8 years. And I think it's the hardest to predict over the past couple of years because so much goddamn roster turnover on every team. And that's why I don't put much weight into rankings, especially in the beginning of the season. I never, like preseason, I've always thought are dog shit. But even early in the season, like, it's hard to fucking tell. I don't care who you talk to. I've been to these media days and stuff. You talk to people that I think Nowadays, you're flying more blind than ever before. But do you think the defense will be able to be as good as that? Third in the nation?
Third's pretty damn good. Rob's talking about their secondary was damn good last year. The year before that, it was their D line. So they kind of – I'm interested to see what's going to be the strength of this defense this year. Probably the linebackers just from the returning production. So, but, I mean, how can you bet against – I'm going to butcher his name too. Kiewitowski.
Kiewitowski. I'm actually better at that than the UMass head coach.
Yeah. Shout out to the UMass. He's a damn good coach. I'm with you. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a head job.
I was hoping, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, come on, dude. Fucking take something. Take something.
Yeah, we need this defense to take a step back. Yeah, he's they're going to be good just because he's still there and he can coach some damn defense. So they're going to need those D linemen though from the portal to step up and step into bigger roles. But they'll be good.
Yeah. Look, gonna talk some more Texas Longhorn football in a second, but I want to let you know you are listening to the College Football Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can listen to every podcast episode on the network that we do as an entire network, not just on the College Football Experience, College Basketball Experience, College Baseball Experience, Longhorn fans. You keep a great program, right? All those episodes, the Sports Gambling Podcast episodes, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, F1, Formula One Gambling Podcast. I mean, every sport, NFL, NBA, whatever. It's all available. MLB. All of that will come out on the SGPN network. So why not jump on over there, subscribe to that, as well as subscribe to us, of course. But you can get the SGPN feed. Just type in SGPN and you will get that. All right. And remember, as always, to let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Think you know ball? Well, then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake. So if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions, you pick 5 teams against the spread each week, NFL, or go for the ultimate sweat with Circa Survivor. There's even the Circa Grandissimo for $100,000. I know I've been saying $100 million. I am a moron. In that Survivor contest, you must register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. Great excuse to book a trip to Vegas, have a good time. If you haven't been to Circa, it's like fucking heaven between Stadium Swim and the biggest sports book in the world. Come on. So sign up in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Yes, go to footballcontest.com and use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. That's mybookie.ag. Sorry, we're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including what do we got right now? MLB, WNBA, golf, CFL. I got a game on right here. And of course, college football and NFL futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Shout out to the chat. We got Longhorn fans. We got Longhorn haters. This is the way it's supposed to be. We do think so. I think the defense will take a small step back. I also think some of those numbers, although I do believe they're a great defense, I also think some of it has been the backup quarterbacks that they have played. Yeah. But I think it'll be a small step back. They'll still be a top 20 defense. So don't panic.
Fair.
If you're a Longhorn fan. We do a thing called State of the Program. Part of State of the Program, which we'll get to in a minute here, is the stadium. Darrell K. Royal Stadium. Mac.
It's a great stadium.
I've been here. I've had a fucking great time. I don't give out tens. I mean, look, I love pretty much every college football stadium minus like Syracuse, UNLV, UTSA. But maybe a few others. But this stadium, this is how you know I'm not a hater. All right, the chat thinks I'm a hater. This is a fucking great stadium. This is a 10 of 10 in my opinion. It don't get much better than this, man. This is just a fire fucking stadium. It's college football done right. All right, college football done. Look at that shit, dude. Darrell K. Royal Stadium. That shit's 101 years old. Fucking Tom Landry. Bobby Lane was throwing touchdown passes on that field. Earl Campbell running his ass off. Eric Metcalf, all these greats. Ricky Williams, like, come on, look at that thing.
Vince Young.
I love the stadium too because you can just walk right to a fucking bar from there. It's perfect. You're in, like, you could easily walk to, whatever, like all the hopping bars there. It
What's
is
the street, 6th Street,
yeah, 6th Street's the big thing. But man,
fucking awesome.
Look at this, dude. Look at this gem. Fuck you, NFL. All right, like, this shit is better than anything the NFL has ever fucking put together. Look at this stadium. That's what it used to be, by the way. My only regret would be they should have kept the front. You see the front there, the white part with the very beginning of the stadium there. I wish they would have kept that as part of the design. But this is it back in like the 80s or 90s, I believe. But man, you look at it now. It's fucking flawless, though, dude. I'm really like nitpicking if I had to say that, but like, this is a perfect fucking football stadium. This is how it should be. All right. Your football should be played outdoors, and it should be played in a place like this. All right. This is just fantastic. So, I'm not a hater, Texas fans. All right. Because you do college football well, and there's many elements to this, Mac. Not only is your stadium fucking awesome, I like that. It's like the horn, by the way, and the stands back there.
Yeah,
fucking awesome. I love the city skyline backdrop, and then when you get into it, you got great fans. Look at this fucking bozo, right? I probably did shots with this guy right before this photo, right? Right, but you got the mascots, man. I mean, what's my guy's name again? Bevo or Bevo or some shit, like.
Yeah. You couldn't go to the SEC title game last year.
Yeah, that's horse shit. But that's why it's filthy to play in a dome in a damn shopping mall.
Yeah.
Look at this. You run out with this guy. It is hard to beat that at college football, dude. Between the stadium, the fans, which are good fans, it's just college football done right. And that's a credit and testament to them. Now here's where the controversy comes in, Mac. I only gave the state of the program 8 of 10, and I'm gonna make my case. Well, they haven't won but one national championship since really, since like modern era, since we've had TVs, really. I know they'll claim that one in 70, even though they lost to Notre Dame outright, or 71, whatever year that was. Just some classic college football bullshit. It's like, you had the same record. You played the team. You lost to the team, but you're still claiming that natty. Okay.
It's college football in that.
Yeah. But look, honestly, I think you are, like, there's something to talk about here. You are now in an era where everybody can pay. We talk about how Texas Tech just stole their offensive lineman, their 5-star top offensive lineman in recruiting. You're in a day and age where SMU can now be SMU again. So as much as Texas will always be good because of the money they have, I think it is worth noting that Steve Sarkisian has struggled in big games. Now everybody can pay. And you just joined the SEC, which I still think, like, I know they had that big party for it. I think they were better off in the Big 12 personally. Like, had it been the old model with the 14 playoff, I think I'd be on board. But I actually think long term, now that everyone's gonna have a seat at the table, unless we go to this crazy auto bid thing, I think it might not be the best option for them. So I give it 8 of 10. 8 of 10. Like, you're still kicking ass. You got the program up. If you would have done this under Tom Herman or Charlie Strong, I would have said like 5.
Yeah.
Am I crazy, Mac?
I gave it. I'll go 9. Just because they're back-to-back years, Final Four, and they're from. I know everybody can pay, but they can pay a little bit more. Texas.
But let me play devil's advocate there. Washington does not in the same stratosphere, or at least they weren't. Now once they get that Big Ten money, who knows? Washington never even trailed in that game. They whooped Texas's ass in that game.
Yeah.
Right. Then last year, Arizona State probably should have won that game. This is a team
They should have
that came out of nowhere, right? You can't. There are complaints about being broke because of the Herm Edwards situation, all this stuff. I was a guest of Arizona State last year, so I got to like witness this. How does that happen then?
Yeah, he has struggled in big games. There's no doubt about it. But he is 25-5 in the last 2 years. So, but they have gotten some nice breaks with the schedule, quarterbacks.
Well, that's part of my 8 of 10 is like it's not sustainable. Like they're always going to try to look out for the best schools. SEC has a long history in scheduling. I think they got gifted another great schedule this year, but I credit Texas for their non-con. They do schedule aggressively in the non-con, but there's only so many years you can do it. It's like Kirby Smart bitch. Remember at the Texas game last year, he was bitching about the schedule, and what they do, they gave him a gem of a schedule this year.
Oh, he got Cupcake City this year.
Well, but my point is like you can't if there with this many good teams in a conference, you can't plug it in and give them a great schedule every year. I think next year or the year after, they're going to actually get a pretty it's still a challenging schedule this year potentially. There's a couple teams are like what ifs, but I still thought they got one of the better SEC schedules. That's another element to me. 8 of 10. See,
I'll go 9, and I gave it 10 on the stadium too. It seats one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask.
No, it's all good.
Yeah,
You were on a roll. I could tell how much you love that stadium.
I love that stadium. It's
a great stadium. It's they do it right in Texas.
We're talking San Jose State next, and then Alabama next tonight. Triple header, and you know, a lot of people talk about Alabama. Like to me, Texas is way better than Alabama's. Like way better than Alabama's. And I don't say that. Like I just like college football stadiums, and like I think it's just way fucking better. So. We'll get to that though in a little bit here. Let's get to the schedule. But before we get to the schedule, I want to let you know the Texas Longhorns season preview episode. It's brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. So jump on over there, sign up. And when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you've heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a game-changing new feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Let's talk about the schedule. We got Heat week 1. Boom! Texas heading into the horseshoe to take on Ohio State in a series that goes back only 20 years, surprisingly. Obviously, this game's awesome. Great way to kick off college football season. Arch Manning on the road. A lot of unknowns. Ohio State, I think you could probably say they have the best offensive player and defensive player in the nation, arguably, with Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. But they're breaking in a new quarterback. Not only are they breaking in a new quarterback, they're breaking in a new OC, a new DC. I still can't take Texas here. Like, I just feel like the horseshoe is the horseshoe. Yeah. Ohio State's team, like, is to me, like, yes, they're going through a reload, but it's Ohio State's been going through a reload for like 20 fucking years, and they reload well, you know? So I will take Ohio State to win this game, but I am fascinated by this game. I don't feel amazing about it, but I would take Ohio State. I don't know. What's that line right now?
You have 3. That? It's 3.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Ohio State -3. Ohio State just doesn't lose at home unless it's Michigan. Virginia Tech once.
And who else? Cristobal got him that one year randomly.
That's true. Maybe more than I realized.
Well,
Cristobal.
I know.
God,
how did he win there? Texas did win at the shoe back in 2005. Their only trip there. So all-time series is 2-2, and obviously they played a great playoff game where the strip sack and Ohio State blew it open late. So rematch. That's the last time we saw Texas.
You're going to get two unproven quarterbacks. I'll take the home team.
That's where I'm at. If Ewers was back and Texas had all the returning production, I would take Texas. But it's too much unknown to win at the shoe week 1. I'll take the Buckeyes. 0-1 for Texas.
Like, what's the percentage you feel? I'm like 60-40.
Yeah, I like the revenge angle. They did end their season. They've been watching that clip over and over. So, but it's just, I don't know. Arch Manning's first true road game is at the shoe. I have to take Ohio State. Now, Texas wins this, I mean, that's hello. Huge. We are the best team in the country type of win.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. 5112 too. Texas traveled to Alabama and Michigan and won, but they did it with an experienced quarterback.
Yeah,
Michigan was also like, Michigan should have lost
Michigan
to who they almost lose to the week before, I felt like, or the week after.
Ark State.
That's what I'm saying. That's what like Michigan was a disaster early in the season. Now, credit to Texas. That's not Texas's fault, but I just don't see the parallel. Even with the Bama one, like that was more like two teams reloading, or I'm sorry, not reloading, like bringing back everybody. Because it was Bryce Young against Quinn Ewers. This is kind of, it still wouldn't shock me because Texas has Texas talent. They can beat anybody on any given day. But I'll take, what's that?
If this was like week 7 or 8, I think I would take Texas.
I don't know because it'll be cold.
True.
Yeah.
It's just not. I'm not taking Arch in his first true road game start at the shoe. Not happening.
Yeah. Yes, it was a shit Michigan team early on last year.
They were horrible.
Yeah, early on. Late in the season they caught a little bit of fire, but early on they were not very good.
Oh, yeah. They couldn't throw a pass.
USC should have beat them. There was a couple teams that kind of let them off the hook. Let's go to week 2. Ken Niumatalolo, my boy. He'll be on this show in a couple weeks. Had him on last year. I do think San Jose State's a legit. We're talking about them next, so I think they're going to be a contender in the Mountain West. But I will take Texas to win this game. Surprise.
Yeah. Texas bounce back.
Yeah. Then week 3, the UTEP Miners coming in. This series goes back almost 100 years, 95 years. Yeah, Texas rolls. UTEP, Scotty Walden's doing a solid job, but it's a tall order. 2-1, Texas.
Yeah, Texas is gonna kill UTEP. Poor UTEP.
Then Sam Houston State is coming to Texas. Phil Longo, the new head coach of Sam Houston State, getting a first-year coach in September. Doesn't matter who I just like any team getting them. So I will take Texas to destroy Sam Houston State as well. 3-1. Bold.
Yeah. Very chalky. And then it's going to get good here. So quick note before we dive in. They do not play another game in Austin till the month of November.
After the Sam Houston State game, right?
Yeah. So this is an interesting schedule.
Yeah, but there's still some nice gems there. And Mr. 512, so you're taking an unproven quarterback against a top tier defense. Well, Ohio State's a top tier defense. Who are you referring to? Are you referring to Ohio State or are you referring to Texas? I think that fits both. I'm taking the home team.
Yeah.
The team at home that does not have to college football. Look, I've been watching college football my whole life. When it comes to top 10 action, more times than not, I'll take the home team. All right.
I think college football and maybe college basketball too. I think more so in college football, the home team dominates.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's outliers. Texas, like I said, is talented enough to beat anybody in any given day. But I don't think we're being bold. I mean, Ohio State's favored.
Yeah,
Vegas agrees with us. Yeah.
And the line being 3, it's a toss up. I don't even the biased Texas fans. I mean, I don't think it's bold to say that Ohio State's going to beat them. It's a toss up.
Yeah. I mean, look, last year Will Howard came in, and people all thought Will Howard sucked, and he beat Texas, right?
Yeah,
they thought he sucked. Julian Sayin is a 5-star fucking recruit. Will Howard was a 3-star recruit. Just saying. We got a bye week there. Shout out. Look at some of the greats there. Earl Campbell and Ricky Williams. Yeah, nice bye week. Great fucking uniforms. They come out of the bye week and they head to the swamp in a series that goes back 101 years. This is one of the games that I consider like this schedule could be a lot easier than I think, or it could be a lot harder than I think. Florida is a mystery team. The whole world's sucking them off right now, I feel like, because of an 8-win season. I don't know that I'm there. I just, I like, I've never been that impressed with Billy Napier coaching. Even at Louisiana, I felt like, like he did a good job recruiting. I have to take Texas on the road here. Now here's the part that's interesting. They got the Red River Shootout on deck. That's scary because this is a perfect spot to trip up. But I just don't know that Florida's getting a lot of hype.
I've seen a lot of people pick Florida in this game. Give me Texas.
I got to take Texas too. Like Florida's got to prove it. Like I know Napier did a good job navigating his way to a better season than what people thought. But some of that also was like convenient. Florida State was complete ass. Kentucky was worse than we thought they would be. So like, yeah, he did a good job. Don't get me wrong. He did a good job. And Lagway's, a guy that everyone's excited about. Obviously, he looked good at moments last year. I just got to take Texas until Florida shows it to me. I'll take Texas. Then though you have the Red River Shootout at the Cotton Bowl in a series that goes back 125 years. One of my favorite rivalries in college football. You want a hot take? I'll take this over the Iron Bowl. This one is like, to me, I put it right there with Michigan, Ohio State, and Army Navy. Like those 3 rivalries. I know Backyard Brawl right there, Egg Bowl right there, Iron Bowl right there. I love this game. Cotton Bowl is fucking awesome. Who you taking, buddy?
Give me Oklahoma.
I am too, dude.
They ran it up on him last year. Throw out the records in this game. Oklahoma's gotten in the better of Texas over the last 10, 15 years. Yeah, give me Boomer Sooner, baby. Oh,
now, there's some intangibles here. Mateer runs a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I know Arch can run, but I'm saying Mateer, you have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call for the upset here. Like, I just know this history of the rivalry where I feel like that shit swings back and forth, right? And like you said, putting it on him last year. Venables, this is honestly for his job. You lose this, I think he might be fired. But this is another one that can make or break the season. There's 3 games on this schedule that I just don't know what to make of the teams. Mm-hmm. Florida's getting hype. Oklahoma's getting hype. Our boy Phil Steele will be on the show in a couple weeks. He is high on Oklahoma. I'm a little high on Oklahoma, but I'm not as high as some. Some are super fucking high. But I'll take the upset here. This is just the rivalry play.
I think it's going to be similar to that game 2 years ago. It's gonna be a wild game. That game is always a shit show. Oklahoma is not going to be what Oklahoma was last year, where they literally couldn't move the ball or throw the ball at all. Yeah, but here, let's go. Boomer.
I mean, he's coming in with his OC from LSU. I mean, look, Oklahoma's a mystery team to me. Like them and Florida are almost mirror images to me.
Yeah.
I trust Mateer more than Lagway because I've seen Mateer play more games. but he's also I don't know. I'm just trusting the rivalry here, trusting the desperation of Oklahoma. They come out of that and they head to Lexington, Kentucky. Series goes back to 1951.
This is a tricky game, though.
Well, if they win it,
yeah.
If they win the Red River Shootout, this could be tricky because you're just due for a human error of like, hey, we've been partying all week. I was, banging 6 broads the past, past 6 days, whatever. Like, whatever it is, this game could be tricky. If they lose to Oklahoma, no, they're gonna fuck up Kentucky. Now, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, between Florida, Oklahoma, and Kentucky on the road, they'll have 1 loss.
Yeah, I'll take Texas here with them dropping that game. But Kentucky did stay within striking distance in Austin last year.
That's true. That is true. I don't know what to like. Mississippi State is next. Davis Wade Stadium. Series goes back 104 years. Ah, man. I just think Mississippi State's ass.
Yeah. Give me Texas. Too much talent.
Then Diego, look, they almost got pissed on last year. They take on Vanderbilt, who leads the all-time series, might I add. Vanderbilt lost by 3 a season ago. They almost got pissed on. They were like right next to the toilet seat, and it was just, spattering on their fucking face. This is the game. If you're asking me to get one upset all year, it's either this or Vandy at Bama. I just want, I got to take Texas though, dude.
Yeah.
Vandy's O-line's not the greatest, but damn, that series goes back 126 years there.
Texas. So what do we have them at? 2 losses?
I have them at 2 losses.
7-2 headed into the bye week.
Yep. The bye week. Shout out to Bobby Lane, one of the greats. Vince Young. Is this steakhouse still in Austin? Someone let me know. They come out of the bye week and they head to Sanford Stadium between the hedges, take on the Georgia Bulldogs in a series that goes back to 1949. Yeah, I'm taking Kirby Smart every time against Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, the former Bama coordinators. Yeah, I'll take the Dogs. I'm not betting against Kirby in Athens. So
yeah. Wait, he's won in Austin. He's won in Atlanta. So on their actual home stadium, would I fade them? No. Yeah.
He'd give me George all day. He owns Sark.
Then Bobby Petrino, aka Road Rash Face, and Sam Pulled Pork Pittman come into town. I love this rivalry. Arkansas will lose though. It is tricky though because it's a little bit of a look ahead.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a look ahead with A&M on deck. But here's another. This is the third game for me that I have. Like I have Arkansas making a bowl personally, but Sam Pittman could be fired by now. That's the thing with Napier, Venables, and Arkansas. Those 3 teams at any point, their coach could be gone. You know what I mean? Like Oklahoma, you lose to Michigan week 3 and Auburn or whatever week 4. Venables might not even be coaching the Red River Shootout. Napier, I think, will be, but Venables, you can't even make that guarantee. Same with Pulled Pork Pittman here. I almost like.
Could be Petrino.
that actually might help Arkansas. I think he might be a better head coach. I don't know. But I'll take Texas here. What are you doing here?
I'll take Texas too to set up the big one to end the year.
Oh yeah, Mike Elko at Texas, and very impressive win by Texas last year to come into College Station and get that win. Series goes back to 1894. One of my favorite rivalries in college football. Revenge is being served, Mac. You heard me on the A&M preview.
Yeah.
I think Texas A&M is going to go into Austin and score the upset. What are you doing here?
I took the Horns. I'll say they win this one, and this probably gets them in the playoff at 9-3.
I got them 8-4. A lot of unknowns. I think Elko is going to have that defense rolling. Arch Manning going to have to go up against really good defense there. The over-under's at 9.5.
Under.
I'm on the under as well. They're plus 550 to win the Natty. They're plus 290 to win the SEC, and they're minus 310 to make the CFP. I will have none of that. If you ask me which one to bet, I think the best play would be the plus 290 to win the SEC. Because if if Venables is gone or something, if they just boat race Oklahoma, if the Mateer thing's a disaster, there's a decent shot they could end up in the SEC championship. So I actually think that's the best play on the board for the Longhorn fans out there. Now, this is my point, Mac, though. The SEC is cooking the books for them a little bit. If you're a head coach in the SEC, if you told me, Colby, you're going to be a head coach, random team in the SEC, who do you want on the schedule? I would say, give me Kentucky, give me Mississippi State, give me Vanderbilt, give me Arkansas. And I get this.
They got all four.
Yeah, they got all four. And I would also say, I know it's a hard conference, but if you told me right now, I would say give me Oklahoma and give me Florida. I would not want Alabama. I would not want LSU. I would not want A&M. I would not want Georgia. Would not want Tennessee. So when you look at it that way, now obviously they play Oklahoma every year. That thing's and A&M. That's cooked into the schedule. But they're cooking the books for them some with Arkansas, with their road games being at Florida, who might be a disaster this year, at Kentucky and at Mississippi State. The Georgia game, okay, I'm subscribed. I'm just saying, I don't know how good Florida is. I think Kentucky, Mississippi State are the two worst teams in the conference. So it is a nice SEC schedule, in my opinion. But how about this? This schedule could be way harder than I think if Florida does live up to the hype. If Oklahoma does go on a like if Venables steers the ship correctly, and then if Arkansas, like those three teams. But I still think this is like, if you're an SEC coach, I think this is top two easiest schedules in the SEC.
I agree. Yeah. The only thing that's weird, like I said, is that they don't play a single home game in the month of October,
those teams suck though.
I know.
Not
Florida. I mean, Florida's okay.
But Florida can be all over the place. Like over the past decade, Florida has been not very good, I would say. Right?
They're still living off their Tebow reputation.
Yeah. Over the past decade, I would say they've been pretty down for their program standards. Oklahoma in the Venables era has been kind of a disaster. And then like Kentucky and Mississippi State, I think. But you're right. It's still tricky. A month not home in Austin is noteworthy. And maybe I'm sleeping on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and just having the two road games in Columbus and Athens, I mean, most likely they're going to lose both of those games. They're underdogs in both those games. So I'm on the under 9-3. I think. Do you think 9-3 gets them in?
Oh yeah, they're Texas, dude.
Yeah, they're like if they lose the games that we said that they're going to lose, like let's say we flip the A&M game for you, and we both had them 9-3. I think they would get in, unlike Alabama last year, because they didn't really have a bad loss. I maybe Oklahoma qualifies as a bad loss if Oklahoma's like they were last year, but you're not going to get penalized for losing at Ohio State or at Georgia.
Yeah, that's fair. And look, I would say, what is the ceiling to me? The ceiling is 11-1.
Yeah, they're not running the table. They're not winning.
At Georgia game, I just am not buying in that they're going to win that game.
Yeah.
But every other game is winnable to
What's
me.
Floor 7-5.
Worst case scenario, Ohio State. I mean, what if Florida does get them and Florida is living up to the hype, and then Oklahoma? So if they're 3-3 after 6, then Georgia 4, A&M 5, 7-5 is probably the floor.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right, folks, that's our show. All right. We will be right back with San Jose State and then Alabama later tonight. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Enjoy the slideshow honoring Texas history, and rest in peace to Mongo, Steve McMichael, Texas legend, buddy. But yeah, we will be back. Check out the college basketball experience, college baseball experience, and the sports gambling podcast. And we will be back in about 10 minutes here with San Jose State. This is the college football experience, Texas Longhorn style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 old messages.
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. My body and soul are nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. My body and soul are nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. My body and soul are nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely because leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pit. Of feet by the tree, they're the fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the head. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. My body and soul are nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. My body and soul are nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. My body and soul are nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just the words of the wise and the weary.